1080 The Fan.
3, 2, 1.
Luke Anderson, astronaut. A man barely interesting.
I just picture you sitting on the rail at a strip club eating a Lunchable.
Will Darkins, hot air balloon attendant, frightened by technology.
I love you, but you're saying that this little old man, this dude was a clean 6'6".
We have the capability to build the 33rd best radio show in Portland. On Saturdays, about sports. The Sinner and the Saint will be that show. Better than they were before. Sportsier, funnier, more Labradoodles. The Sinner and the Saint Tailgate Show on 1080 The Fan, the
Odyssey
map, and 1080thefan.com.
Hey, hey, hey! Happy Saturday morning, all you beautiful Portland radio listeners. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your weekend. Let's check in with the, what do we call him? The most important man, ladies and gentlemen, it's Will Darkins.
What's up?
What's going on, man?
What's going on?
Dude, how are you not amped? Dude, are you not watching these Bronny James highlights from the NBA preseason like I am? Huh? Catch the fever.
I forgot he was. That
What?
was a thing.
What?
I did. I actually forgot that was a thing.
How did you forget that was a thing? I pulled up my news sources, my sports news sources this morning to kind of see what the big hubbub's around. 3, not just 1, 3 Bronny James headlines.
Nice.
One, check out his girlfriend, get to know her.
She hot?
What do you think?
I don't know. Sometimes you get surprised.
Oh, dude, like surface of the sun. Let's go. Second, let's look at some Bronny James highlights.
Okay.
Third headline: how are we going to use Bronny James? I haven't done the deep dive on his what I assume is like some Instagram model girlfriend, and I haven't done the deep dive on how the Lakers plan to use him. But I pulled up the highlights, and they said you got to check out the LeBron-esque chase down block, chase the dude down from behind, and swats him. What they don't say in the headline of that highlight is that he also throws a terrible pass that is intercepted, and that's why he has to chase the guy down to block him. But can I just say, oh man, this is going to be a season for the ages.
Did you not watch any of the Summer League?
No, I did. Dude, are you kidding me?
Why are you excited about this? Bronny James, quite honestly, might be one of the worst draft picks I've ever seen in the Summer League.
First of all, he's taken 55th overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Draft pick.
Yeah, I understand that. Dude, he might be the best 55th pick of all time.
I actually think he won't be.
I'm going to say that right now. I'm going to say
I think he might be one of the worst.
You're going to take the worst 55th pick overall?
Dude, he was atrocious in Summer League.
Are you watching these highlights?
No, I'm not.
But
I think I watched
why did you shut your mouth?
I think I watched maybe like 2 of his games. Now, one I was forced to watch pretty much. Because you remember that one show either Ortner came in here with you or we had to cancel because my flight got canceled in Denver. And so I had to stay at an airport hotel in Denver for the night. And the only thing on was a Lakers Summer League game. And I was by myself. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to get food and I'm going to watch Bronny James. It was a horrible experience. It was literally just watching bad basketball.
Yeah, dude, he's so good, man. Let's go.
So I had that one, and then I happened upon another, and it just confirmed everything for me. It was like, dude, what does this guy play? He's not a point guard. He doesn't have good enough handles.
No.
He's not a shooting guard. He can't really score. He's not dynamic. He's not a bench guy. Doesn't play great D. He can't score.
I got your
What
comp.
am I doing
I got your
here?
comp. I got your comp.
Yeah.
Best 55th pick of all time, according to the AI engine on Google.
Okay.
Patty Mills.
Yeah, I think Patty Mills will be better than Bronny James.
All right, that's fine. Patty Mills still playing, still in the league.
Former Blazer, Patty Mills.
That's right. He was a rookie with the Blazers. He played in 10 games. He averaged 2.6 points per game, half an assist.
Well, let's be honest. Just
0.1
like every
rebounds.
other
let's-
player traded from the Blazers, they're better after.
Well, no, it's his second year. Second year played in 64 games, averaged 5 points. His first year in San Antonio averaged 10 points a game. So for his career, he's an 8 points, half an assist. Oh no, two assists per game.
As a bench
1.4
player,
rebounds. Yeah, no, I'm saying.
I'm wholly confident that is
Patty
better
Mills
than
better.
Bronny James.
Well,
yes.
Here's the other thing: is Patty Mills is he's what 14 seasons into this thing.
Yeah.
So,
I'm pretty sure Patty
16,
Mills will
16
end up
seasons.
better.
So I think it's look at this. He was 13th in the voting for most improved player.
That's pretty
Or
good.
I'm sorry, 9th for 13th player and 13th for sixth man of the year in 2013. He was 8th in the sixth man of the year voting in 2016-17. So listen, this will be fun to watch. We'll start the tracker.
I think
We'll start the tracker.
I think you're going to be really unpleasantly surprised
Whoa, dude!
at how boring and bad Bronny James is at basketball.
You watch your mouth.
He is not good.
I've already set the DVR to record every single Bronny James
man.
game.
Yeah. I think there's just it's a strange occurrence with this because I think there's kind of this expectation among fans and pundits that it's like if you can just get him out there with his dad,
Yeah.
just get him out
That's all.
there,
Yeah.
and the synchronicity will happen, and he'll just take off. And all of the objective evidence that you have otherwise will just go away.
Yeah.
Like it'll be the first time in NBA history that a player gets drafted, looks horrible in preseason and in summer league, but then somehow is great during the regular season. He's it.
Yeah.
He's going to break the trend.
No, listen. I haven't gone through all of the I had a rough start to the summer league, but there are guys out there. It's happened. I know they made references back in the summer.
My guy,
All I'm saying,
this was rough.
I understand.
Like
I do. Listen.
5 turnovers
hey,
rough.
Hey, listen. If you want to take the Patty Mills side of this thing, I'll give it to you, my friend. I'll give it to you.
Patty's good.
Here's my honest question though. This might be I may have been over exaggerating my confidence in Bronny James's thing. Patty Mills has played for 16 seasons, right? According to Basketball Reference. So his rookie season was the 2009-2010 season. A 16-year NBA career is good by any stretch of the imagination, right? He's played a long time. He's been valuable enough to be on a roster for that long.
He's on the Jazz right now.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for Patty Mills. Here's my honest question though, is when Dad retires, if it's hard for Bronny James, how much does he care?
How much does who care?
Bronny.
About what?
If it gets hard, so his dad is going to retire.
It's going to get hard. Like
Well,
immediately. Like he's going to not care after that.
That's my honest question.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I
So you think the dad is the one who's like
honestly, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know anything about Bronny James, right? Like the Ball brothers are the closest I can think of a comp from that side of things where it was all dad's hype that surrounded LaMelo and LaMichael and LaFella and whatever their names are.
Lakeisha.
But when those guys were all coming up, it was LeVar Ball who was really driving the bus on that. And then they ended up being high draft picks, but 2 of the 3 brothers are legit NBA players, and they seem to really love basketball. Bronny James is coming in, and it's more about his relationship with his dad. Will he actually love basketball? Will he love the grind of the NBA? Will he actively get better? Does he have the talent to have a foundation in the league? Well, to be determined. But we'll see what happens. I don't know.
You know it's not
It's
to
a
be
fun
determined?
little soap opera. That's what I kind of like. To be quite honest with you, like take it all aside. Like, is he a good basketball? I don't know.
He's
like
not.
he didn't. The
Dude,
sample
I'm
size.
telling you right now.
That's fine.
He's really not.
You're probably right.
Okay.
And I think that seems to be the general
Conversation
consensus.
over.
But if he's a decent, has enough talent to be in the NBA on his own merits, if he, well, no, do we know if that's true? Is that a fair question to ask? You're laughing.
I guess technically we have to ask it.
We don't, I mean, technically we don't, but
I would encourage you to just go on YouTube
dude,
at some point this
listen.
weekend and just type in Bronny James NBA Summer League.
I watched
and
it.
you will now. You
Listen.
will adopt my mindset.
No.
I promise you.
Okay. So
He's
so-
so bad.
I get that. You keep saying that.
So bad.
Okay. I think you've established your stance on Bronny James. He's bad at basketball. Yes?
Yes.
'Kay.
He is bad at NBA basketball.
So, now, does he have, and this is a question that I just asked you, well, I guess we have to ask that. Does he have the physical tools to be an NBA basketball player?
I would argue no.
Okay. Well,
I mean,
that's the starting point. Does he have the height, the length, the vertical leap, the strength, just the physical I do not have the physical tools to play in the NBA. I will say that right now. Never had, never was gonna have. But he seems.
I think you're actually opening up a better line of conversation here. What
I'm trying to do.
Well, no, you're talking about Bronny James, which
Yes.
it's just. But really, what constitutes physical ability in the NBA? Because I think that you really don't have to have all the physical tools to be a great NBA player. There's a lot of examples you can float to, but the greatest of all is Steve Nash. Now, Steve Nash,
He had pretty good physical tools.
he had good physical tools.
Yeah.
He was fine.
Yeah.
I think he was 6'1.5" or 6'2", so he's rather short. Maybe he hit 6'3". He was not particularly strong. He was honestly not particularly fast. He was fast enough. He had a lot of great stamina from playing soccer, but he was insanely coordinated.
Not from playing basketball. He just had.
No, dude, he was an incredible soccer
I understand that, but he also got stamina from playing basketball. It's not like
player. I mean, yeah, sure. But
he got
like,
it from playing soccer. Okay.
well, so
6'3",
6'3", so
195.
yeah. So you're not the strongest, but
Okay.
you have an insane skill set,
Yes.
which was great intuition for passing, great court vision, and you were a decent shooter.
Yeah.
So in that sense, when you say, do they have the physical tools for basketball? I think basketball is one of those ones, and maybe baseball is too in some
What do you think
spots.
Steve Nash's career 3-point shooting percentage was?
Oh, he probably hit 35 maybe.
What do you think for free throws?
Oh, 93 maybe.
So 42% 3-point shooter
Oh, that's
and
good.
a 90% free
90,
throw
yeah.
shooter. That's a good.
I knew
he's
he
a,
was
he's
really
a very
good at that.
shooter. But that's very good numbers. I mean, obviously he didn't shoot
He's
the
like
volume.
on Dirk levels of free throws.
But he didn't shoot the volume that Steph Curry did. But the other thing is, and take Steve Nash or Steph Curry is a pretty good example of this too, because it's like he didn't have overwhelming physical skill.
No.
The amount of work that dude has put in to get everything that he can out of it is legendary. I mean, they talk about like at the end of practices, they put weights on his chest so he can recover quicker in crunch time, and all of these things that he does are absolutely insane, right? So if you are Bronny James, and it appears that he has the physical tools required to be in the league, right? He's tall enough, strong enough, fast enough, whatever. Does he love the game? Does he really want to be as good as he possibly can be? Those are the things that I have no idea. He had a bad showing in the Summer League. Did he get better between the Summer League and now? He didn't have much of a college basketball career. He had the heart episode, and then he had limited minutes. He didn't even start at USC. So he hasn't played a ton of advanced basketball beyond high school. So does he want to be good? Honestly, I have no idea. The fun part of it to me is I just like bringing it up because it pisses so many people off. But yet I open up, like I said, I open up the sports news this morning, and there's 3 of 12 headlines are Bronny James. That's the only reason I bring it up.
Well, I think it's also a desire for the NBA for this to work. They want this to work. They really do.
Yeah.
Because I think that right now there's a vacuum in the NBA for, what would I say, like stickiness in terms of all-star
Yeah, wait
potential.
till you see Scoot's sophomore year.
Oh, boy, did you hear that answer? This presser.
No, I did not.
They asked him, what did you learn? Like, what do you think was the biggest takeaway from your rookie season? Like, what is the biggest thing you learned? Or what did you take away from it? And he was like, I learned that the food here is really good.
Nice.
And it was that moment that I went, oh, man,
Good for him.
we're not only screwed, we're totally effing screwed.
Ooh, you watch your mouth. Let's go back and look at some Marshawn Lynch interviews. And
Right, but see, he was good. Right.
I understand that.
Yeah.
He wasn't good right away. When was the last time you watched a Marshawn Lynch highlight package that included a bunch of Buffalo Bills footage?
Right. So that required for the guy to move teams. Now, I'm in agreement with you, but that would also track with the problem Portland Trailblazers fans have, which is we trade players away and they get better, like immediately.
That's fine. That's fine too.
So again, if Scoot Henderson gets traded and he's immediately better, that doesn't make me feel any better about anything.
Okay. Hey,
that actually makes me more angry.
Can I tell you one player?
Because it just perpetuates something I already knew, which is like the players aren't very good here generally.
Well, can I tell you one player that we traded that got worse?
Yeah.
Damian Lillard.
That is true.
There
He did.
There you go. So it can happen.
Did CJ? I think he just kind of just continued to be good.
It's like, I don't know. He's a contributor on a team. The thing is, he plays in New Orleans. Who cares?
Yeah.
And they had a pretty good year last year, but it's all Zion, and we'll see what happens. If he stays healthy, then they can go. But is he just he's fine.
Yeah.
He's
I didn't
fine.
think he dropped off at all. I know he was a really important part to the team.
But he also didn't become an all-star.
No.
So, which you thought he would.
Didn't.
So.
Oh, I did?
Yeah. You are you kidding me? Do you want me to get the tape?
Yeah.
Oh.
I would love that actually. I
said-
don't have any recall of saying that.
I don't think you
Boy,
did.
I don't think I hated CJ McCollum. I just found him kind of pointless because it was like we already had that.
Well, the trouble was Portland was trying very hard to make him into be a star, which he was not.
No.
And is not. And
Very
he is,
nice guy.
And he is not. Yeah, but he's a good player. And if he was your third or fourth best player, I think that
you're in
looking
great
at
shape.
it. But the problem was he was your second best player
Yeah.
for a long time.
And he was like a carbon copy B+ version of your already best
He was a
player.
carbon neutral copy. That's what he was. It's really what he was.
Non-offensive.
That's right. That's right.
He's there.
Yeah.
I guess.
No footprint. No carbon footprint.
I like this text, by the way.
Oh,
From the Vancouver Ford text line.
Yeah.
We act like all pro athletes love their sport, and that's very much not true.
This is my point. If LeBron James retires and Bronny James decides that he doesn't love basketball and just bounces, would you be that surprised?
I don't know.
Okay, how about this? Over under again, assuming that he's got the talent, and he'll always get signed because of his name, you would think, right? There'll always be a roster spot for Bronny James, possibly. Over under 10-year career.
Oh, I'd say under.
Okay.
That
might be the better.
I don't think there's always a spot for. I think as long as LeBron James is playing, there's always a spot for him. But
I don't know.
maybe he gets picked up after the first year. But after that, once
we'll see.
once the jury is out on him, which it will be quick. I mean, it'll just kind of be like, well, there's no point in me taking this.
See
guy.
this LeBron-esque chase down block that I'm watching right here on repeat?
Yeah.
That's my new screensaver.
I mean, Austin Rivers was kind of that guy for a while.
But
the point was that Austin Rivers was actually kind of good. Like he wasn't amazing, but like he was a good contributor. You could get off the bench and guarantee like I think that guy could score 10 points. That's awesome. Perfect. That's what I need.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mentioned Austin Rivers because of
I understand
Doc Rivers, you would assume he'd always get work, but I think he always got work because you could fit him in somewhere. It was like, okay, great, yeah.
He's got, let's see, 15 years of service with 7 teams, and career points per game, 9.7.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Off the bench.
Oh no, I don't know why it's shown a little higher there. It's saying 8.5, but still,
yeah. Off the bench, if you can give me that, you're great. I'm sure you could score more at times too.
But a lot of it, to the texter's point, I guess, is you have to want to. Like, do you want to? Does Bronny James wake up let's say he's in his 5th year and he's averaging 6 points a game and he's the 12th best player on the team. He's got a spot. Well, let's say he's the 10th best player on the team. He's got a spot. He's got a roster spot. Does he love basketball enough to wake up every day and be like, man, if I get in today, I'm going to make an impact. If I don't, no big deal. Like, is that something that son of the greatest, most prolific, maybe not greatest player of all time, most prolific, right? The all-time leading scorer. The guy played 5 extra seasons in just playoff games. Well, but this is my point. Does he want to wake up and be an NBA roster spot? Or if he does not become a star at some point, does he just say, yeah, I can do other things? That's a fair question to ask about this dude. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Is he putting in the work because dad's there at the practice facility every day? Does that end up being a launching pad for a career where he loves basketball and plays for 20 years and is just, man, who knows? Who knows? Time will tell. Hey, college football today. College football yesterday. We'll start by talking about the Ducks and what they did to your former head coach, Jonathan Smith, last night, and then we'll talk about the games today. It should be a good time. Center and Saint, 1080 The Fan.
I'm Leif Hansen, owner of Leif's Auto Collision Centers. We've been helping with a documentary covering the auto insurance claims industry. If you've been in an accident, haven't filed a claim yet, and are insured with State Farm, Allstate, or Farmers, give me a call. The documentary crew is following individuals to record all the interactions you have with the insurance carrier from beginning to the end of your claim. All participants are compensated for their time. Contact me direct at Leif's Auto Collision Centers or on Leifs.com.
The Portland Winterhawks invites you to opening night, presented by Chick-fil-A Portland, on Friday, October 4th. Join us for a 7 p.m. puck drop at Veterans Memorial Coliseum and cheer on the Hawks as we begin our quest for another championship. Get your opening night tickets now at winterhawks.com.
I'm Brian Tedesco, CEO of Blaupunkt Americas, the pioneers of the car stereo. Today, we're not just about sound systems. We are revolutionizing the e-bike scene with Blue Dot Bike. Thanks to AmericanEagle.com, our online presence now features a dynamic e-commerce website that showcases the quality and affordability of our foldable e-bikes. And our collegiate e-bikes, just perfect for the college fanatic. These e-bikes offer a new way to experience freedom on two wheels, no matter your age. When we needed a top-notch website to match our cutting-edge e-bikes, we turned to AmericanEagle.com. They made the impossible seem easy, tackling digital challenges like pros. Check out the Blue Dot Bike website to see AmericanEagle.com's amazing work in action. Need the best in website and digital marketing solutions? AmericanEagle.com is your go-to. They've been a game changer for us, and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW-1. That's 877-WEB-NOW-1.
Auto accident? Let Leif's Auto Collision Centers handle your claim from A to Z. We pick up your vehicle, negotiate your claim, fix it to pre-loss condition, handle the billing, and drop it off. No wonder a recent survey of Oregonians voted Leif's the #1 choice for repairs. With pickup and delivery, pre-loss repairs, factory parts, loaners, and manufacturer's recommendations, Leif's has been the consumer's choice for over 33 years. The law gives you the right to choose who repairs your vehicle. Choose Leif's, the finest in collision repair.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
What's wrong?
My travel rewards card didn't earn enough miles for my vacation.
Are you crying? Are you crying because of that other credit card?
Uh-huh.
Well, switch to the Capital One Venture card. Venture lets you redeem miles on any travel purchase.
Really?
Yep, and you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every single day. The Capital One Venture card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with DayQuil VapoCool. It's DayQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is DayQuil VapoCool.
DayQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Stop the world and let me off. I'm tired of going round and round.
The Sinner and the Saint Tailgate with Luke Anderson and Will Darkins on 1080 The Fan.
I guess this is our first official Ducks, or unofficial Ducks, post-game tailgate show. We had Ducks in action last night hosting Michigan State. Last weekend they were playing UCLA. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't.
Oh yeah, no, it's very forgettable. It was very weird watching the broadcast of the Oregon Ducks playing UCLA, and them saying 900 times during the broadcast that it was their Big Ten debut. Did not feel like it very much, but their home debut in the Big Ten was hosting Michigan State. Had a little bit more of that feel, except every time they went over to the coaches on the sideline at Michigan State, there's Jonathan Smith, who was clad in orange and black, so there was some familiarity there as well. So
that was pretty sweet seeing him get his butt kicked.
He definitely did, and the opening drive, you probably thought the game would have gone a different way than it did. Michigan State picked up a 3rd and 12, a 4th and 2. They went deep. They had it in the red zone. After holding the Ducks to a 3-and-out, you're like, all right, this might be a game. It very much was not. The only reason it was close as it was a couple late touchdowns by Michigan State, or a couple late scores by Michigan State. And the turnovers, the Dylan Gabriel, like, kind of mind-blowing, like, let's just try to force it when we don't have to in a game that we have pretty well in hand in the red zone. 2 red zone picks. I just thought those were bad throws on the run, trying to force it in windows where you could have lived to play another down. But maybe that was just a little disrespect for the opponent. But, man, you do that in a tight spot against Ohio State or Michigan later in the season when the game is on the line, I think. I mean, it looked like Dan Lanning's head was going to explode anyways after the second pick. And in the first quarter break, they go, well, what do you think needs to improve? We can't turn the ball over in the red zone. And he's very agitated about it. Then Gabriel throws another one. They had the one at the end of the first half last week against UCLA that ended up being a pick 6. So it seems to be a bit of a trend where Dylan Gabriel thinks he can do no wrong and is trying to fit it in tighter windows than necessary after starting the season where they couldn't finish a drive. Other than that, there's really not a lot to criticize about Oregon.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they're going through some growing pains that we didn't anticipate them to.
Okay.
They are. I mean, obviously they're undefeated, and you can't really say anything bad about that. But what you can say critically about the Oregon Ducks is that they are not a polished product as of yet. And so I think what you were looking for in this Michigan State game was and in particular this game, because of what you have coming next weekend.
Yep.
You were looking for a sense of polished play that kind of gave you assurance that this is in fact a top 10 team in the country. I'm not quite convinced of that yet.
Really? Okay.
No, not really. And I think that you're going to get a good barometer for when Ohio State does come next weekend. Now, look, you don't have to beat the team to convince me that you're top 10. Ohio State is arguably 1 or 2, in my opinion, when you look at the talent on that squad. But I think that Lanning is probably getting very frustrated and anxious with this team because I think everybody was expecting them to be at a higher level than really what they are.
Ooh, okay.
A preseason top 10 ranking of number 3. You go out, let's be honest, you nearly lose to Idaho. Really, you nearly do lose to Idaho.
It was terrible against Idaho. Probably should have lost to Boise State.
Boise State, yeah. You get competitive. Now, in the first half, Oregon State, you look whatever. You do eventually run away with it. Yeah, and it was fine. And then you get these, 2 cupcakes afterwards that you should beat. And you did. Yeah. So I think that this game, more than any other, and maybe I'm kind of speaking out of turn for Duck fan here, was kind of like a whatever. We're looking for next week.
Dude,
this is what we're waiting for.
I think the biggest fear going into this game was it was overlooking Michigan State and having a familiar head coach that knows kind of the buttons to press to get at Dan Lanning. And neither of those things came true. Oregon definitely did not overlook this game. I think the 2 biggest things out of that. So you talk about the early struggles that Oregon had against Idaho and Boise State. Didn't feel a lot of anxious moments, especially in the second half against Oregon State. The game was never in doubt last week against UCLA. I only caught a little bit of the Dan Lanning interview with Isaac and Suk this week, but I think I heard him say that they definitely pulled off the throttle in the second half of that game. It felt like they did last night as well, where they didn't want to show too much, right? You don't want to go out and be like, well, here's our best plays that we've got, Ohio State. They're on tape. Keep an eye on these. So I definitely think there was definitely a pulling back of the throttle in those 2 games, second half. The things that I think really stand out to me as where they've improved is if you look at their offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks in the first 2 games against Idaho and Boise State.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many they've given up against UCLA, Michigan State, and Oregon State combined? 0. It's a dramatic difference, and you would assume that the talent is better on those 3 rosters, even though they're not complete rosters with Oregon State, UCLA, and Michigan State. They're going to have better talent in spots than you're going to get from the 2 Idaho schools. So being able to get that offensive line solidified, and then the running game, they made it look so easy last night to make holes, but then Jordan James went out there. Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
dude.
good.
When there was it wasn't the big run that he had in the first quarter, but the next one that brought him down to like the 10 or 11 or whatever it was on that same drive, where he hit the linebacker and the guy in white just stumbled back 4 or 5 steps and fell over like he was a kid trying to tackle an adult. There was some plays in there where it was really, really impressive. And then you have a good changeup back. You've got a quarterback that seems to have control. If anything, like I said, being maybe a little too aggressive in spots, but it's hard to fault him too much for that. The thing that we don't know about this team, I mean, you can count Boise State as a clutch moment, but what do they do when the game's close? Because that's something that we haven't really seen. They pulled away in the second half against Oregon State, but that felt inevitable. Boise State, they needed it, but their special teams is really what led them. It wasn't their offense that responded. So what happens if you get into a game and it's 10-10 in the fourth quarter? It could be 31-31 in the fourth quarter. But if you get a close, tight game, who's the player that's going to step up? You have faith in Dylan Gabriel. They put up the stats against Aiden Childs. 6 starts for Aiden Childs and however many yards and a few touchdowns or whatever.
Yeah.
54 games for Dylan Gabriel. So,
well, and I think this is kind of the point of what has kind of maligned this season so far for Oregon. And again, I want to say
perfect record.
Perfect record, right? But you also kind of had this curse of a schedule, which is your first 5 games are against just arguably not great opponents.
Is that a curse though? The way they came out of the gates?
Because now
I think it's a blessing.
You are playing potentially, definitely you are playing 3 ranked teams, 2 of which are top 10.
Yeah.
And potentially 4 if Illinois, if Wisconsin gets their stuff into gear.
Yeah.
So you're kind of backloading everything. And Oregon does this. I don't know if people realize this with their schedule, that their schedule is pretty cupcake to start with most seasons.
2 years ago, Dan Lanning's debut was against Georgia.
And again, we have some outliers.
Yeah.
But generally, this is what happens. And so you kind of hope in these games that you can see a glimpse of like, this team's dominant. And I truly feel bad for them that they were ranked preseason number 3 because I think that was just totally inaccurate.
Yeah.
And it was odd and it was a strange hype. And you're going to go into this game against Ohio State where, quite honestly, and if you don't agree with this, get your head checked. You don't have as good a talent as they do.
What?
That's a really good friggin' team.
Can I ask you a question?
You need to play your best.
Can I ask you a question, though?
Yeah.
Who's Ohio State played?
Dude, whoever they've played.
Akron? I'll tell you. It's Akron,
Yeah.
Western Michigan,
Dump.
Marshall,
Dump.
and Michigan State.
Huge dump.
So like,
but
I don't think.
But who has Oregon played? And you look at these games and you go, "Ooh boy!"
I don't disagree with that. But now
Ohio State was in control of every single game. Everyone.
Well,
from beginning to end, they manhandled
Akron, Western Michigan, Marshall, which somehow was a game day appearance, and then the same Michigan State team,
Idaho. Boise State. Idaho's not even
Boise.
in the...
Boise. They're FCS. No. Okay. Is Akron?
UCLA?
I'm not arguing that Oregon played a better schedule.
Now, Oregon State, juggernaut. True test.
Today, Ohio State has Iowa. You going to put them up there in the upper echelons of the Big Ten? 3-1
Maybe.
Hawkeyes. They're probably the best team that they've played. But
Perhaps.
I guess my point, and listen, the Boise State game I think is the one where everybody went, oh man, they could have, should have, would have lost that game if Boise State.
Really?
Boise State looks pretty good.
I thought the
Ashton-
Idaho game was crap your pants.
That was
That's frightening.
that
That,
was-
kind of stuff right there. You
Yeah.
go in preseason ranked 3, and again,
That's why
I
they
hate to
dropped.
tell you this, Duck fan. There's an argument to be made. You should have lost that game.
Could have lost that game.
Uh.
There's an argument that they should have lost to Boise State, but Boise that close get out of there by the skin of your teeth win against Boise State doesn't look as terrible as it did in the moment.
Yeah.
At least because
Boise State ranked.
coming off of Idaho, they're not. But coming off of the Idaho game, you look at the the Boise State and go, all right, maybe this is something that we have to worry about. But I'm just saying the Broncos, they have a little something going. Their only loss is to Oregon, and so they look good there. And Ashton Genty's awesome, dude. I could just watch that guy's highlight reels all day. That's as electric a back. And Jordan James flashed last night. Ashton Genty against Washington State. Woo, yes, please. Let's go. He won him that game. Doing the Heisman pose. Come on.
Can I air my grievances now?
That's all you do. How about you do it? Can we take a moment and then you do it after the Sports Center update? We got people some early college football scores.
Oh.
Yeah?
I'm ready.
Airing of grievances after this update.
Scoreless between UCLA and Penn State. 3 minutes per score.
Big Ten action, non-ranked teams. You said if Wisconsin can get it going, Purdue down 13-0, minute 56 left in the first to the Wisconsin Badgers.
A&M up 10-0 on Missouri.
Yeah, remember when Northern Illinois beat Notre Dame? It was awesome. Now they're 2-2, and they are 7-7 tied with Massachusetts.
That's great. I love that.
Yeah.
SMU, who are more and more looking frightening in the ACC, they're up 14-7 on Louisville right now with 6 minutes left. That game against Cal against TCU was pathetic.
Pathetic.
Well, it opened my eyes up, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot they have a lot of money over there. Whoa.
Two academies playing against each other. Navy with a 7-0 lead over Air Force. 4:16 left in the first.
More sports scores and stories. 30 minutes. Will Darkins for the Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player. Tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
Join Isaac and Suk for a Monday at the Stadium Sports Bar and Grill at Ailene. Primetime will be live from 3 to 7 while you watch the game on the region's largest video wall with great food, drinks, wing specials, and more. Don't forget the Ailene Sportsbook where you can bet on pro and college football. A football party with Isaac and Suk and you. Monday night at the Stadium Sports Bar at Ailene. More info at 1080thefan.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 40-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost you about $100 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-353-9057. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-353-9057. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-353-9057. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-353-9057, 800-353-9057, or biglou.com.
It's time to review the top 3 highlights of the day. I'm joined as always by my co-anchor Snoop.
Hey, what up, though?
Snoop, number 1 has to be getting the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence at T-Mobile.
Yeah, you should hustle down to T-Mobile like a dog chasing a squirrel chasing a nut.
Nice analogy, Snoop. Dogs do love to chase squirrels.
And squirrels love to chase those nuts.
On to highlight number 2. At T-Mobile, families can save 20% every month versus the other big guys.
That is very impressive. You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
That's exactly what I'm planning on doing with my savings, Snoop. Now, take it away, Snoop.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on them. Now drop that jingle.
24 monthly bill credits eligible trade-in on Go 5G Next. Well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 connection charge. Cancel entire account before receiving 24 bill credits and credit stop and balance on required finance agreement due. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See how you can save versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.
Your coworkers might annoy you, but we promise we won't. Download the free Odyssey app and you can listen to us at work while you tackle your inbox or get ready for another meeting that probably could have been an email. Tune in late, you can rewind your favorite live shows to catch what you missed. And with Chapters, easily jump to the topics that you care about most, like the latest updates from your team. Your sports talk, your way. The Odyssey app. Download it today.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up. You can go farther and save on full synthetic with our oil change special. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic with an STP Extended Life oil filter for just $35.99. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The Sinner and the Saint Tailgate with Luke Anderson and Will Darkins on 1080 The Fan.
Before we get into Will's airing of grievances, I did want to get you the Heisman odds. Jalen Milroe right now, your odds-on favorite to win the Heisman Trophy. What are we in week 5 of the season? Behind him is Colorado wide receiver / DB Travis Hunter. I do not know how his endurance to play, but if he makes it the whole season playing this many more snaps than everybody else in college football and doesn't win, I'd be a little bit surprised. Behind him at number 3 is Cam Ward, tied with Boise State running back Ashton Jeanty. 82 attempts, averaging 10.4 yards per carry and 13 touchdowns so far.
Yeah, I think they'll probably give it to Jalen Milrose.
I hope not. If with Travis Hunter sitting there playing, like he's played,
suck.
I understand that, but he's played almost a full game behind, more than anybody else in college football, just because of the snaps that he's taken. And you have a running back who is 200 yards ahead of the next closest guy. So they'll probably end up, you might be right. They just end up handing it over to the best quarterback on the best team because the entire rest of the list is all quarterbacks. But it's nice to see a couple people out of the signal caller position, at least in my opinion.
I'm with you.
So we'll see what happens. I just wanted to get that out of there so we can move on beyond that, and you can air your grievances. What are these grievances against? Is it against me? The world in general, college football, the Oregon Ducks?
No, it is the Kansas City Royals and their bull crap. Their efficient pitching and bull crap hitting.
So for anybody that
stupid, dumb-looking Bobby Witt Jr.
Anybody that doesn't listen to this program on a regular basis, we decided at the beginning of the season to find a team for Will to root for Major League Baseball season. We decided on the Baltimore Orioles. You have been I will say you've been a great baseball fan all year. You have been measured. You have been composed. You have been learned on the game and the roster and the situations. You've rooted against the Yankees. You've rooted for the the Mariners. You weren't exclusively stuck on just your team, and everybody else can lose at their peril. You got to the end of the season after 162 games. You told me last week, I do not want to play the Tigers. They're the hottest team in baseball.
Yeah.
You said, I want the Kansas City Royals.
I do.
Air your grievances.
Look, we were going to lose against the Tigers too.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah. So I am ultimately happy we did get the Royals. And actually, I'm ultimately happy we did get the Royals because it exposed exactly the problems we have.
Yeah.
Because if we played the Tigers, I think we would have lost, but we would have lost in like a 6-4 way, or like a,
they were just hot and we couldn't do anything about it.
Or like an 8-6, but like really just kind of like a more, it was
it was inevitable. They were the team of destiny.
Or just like, it was a real scoring frenzy kind of thing. But what the Royals so generously did was expose in full breadth what's wrong with the Baltimore Orioles and probably something they need to change, but unfortunately they won't, which is
I like that you've been one season. You're like, I know the history. We don't make changes like this as an organization.
Well, they won't make these changes, not just history, because I'm not reading off of that. I'm reading off of money.
Okay.
And they won't make these changes because they're very top heavy.
Yeah.
Meaning that their talent and how good they are is based off of how many home runs they hit. They cannot very well put the ball in play.
This is a problem with across baseball.
Yeah, they're not very good at it. And they're not very good at it on a massive scale. I believe they were either first or second, maybe third in home runs this year.
Yeah.
Which is a very good stat in a lot of ways.
Sure.
Getting the ball in play, and I think actually getting doubles, we were like bottom. We were like bottom of the league in doubles.
Yeah.
The problem is that we won't change this because we're facing some very critical contract issues right now, which is we have two very key players who are free agents that are most likely gone, which is Corbin Burns, our ace pitcher we got from the Brewers last season, and Anthony Santander, who was, I think, second or third in the AL in home runs this year. We won't get those guys because they're going to get premium money on the market, and we're a small market team. Now, some hope is that new owner David Rubenstein, who has hinted at spending more money, will spend more money on those players. But the problem is that everybody is looking at Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rutschman and their contracts and saying, you cannot lose both those guys.
Sure.
You need to pay both of those dudes because they do get paid next year, or that is when their contracts are up. And you get the advantage of these other young guns who you brought in who are still good and on crap deals, mentioning Jackson Holliday, Jordan Westberg, and Colton Cowser, who's going to win Rookie of the Year in the AL this season. So you have that advantage. But the problem is if you spend all that money there, you will not spend it on probably pitching or like anybody else, maybe like a veteran you can get in there, except for Cedric Mullins, who's been there for, I don't know, like close to 10 years now. So they're in this paradox, this weird thing of like, they just need to improve the guys they have now, but you're kind of like, well, I don't know how they do that. Yeah. This is who these guys kind of are.
Welcome to your first offseason, my friend. It's tricky. So I just checked your stats. Got to follow up on that. Second in home runs with 233.
Thought it was somewhere around there.
Yep, 233 home runs. The Baltimore Orioles, or 235, sorry, and right between the Yankees and the Dodgers, which is a pretty good place to be for home runs. But sitting for on-base percentage, sitting 11th for doubles, which you brought up as a specific stat for some reason. They were sitting 14th. So,
for doubles. Yeah.
For doubles. But
well, no, it's an important part because.
Well, I was just going to say on base percentage is where I would go for being just get the ball in play, get guys on base. Is a little more important.
Well, and another issue with this on base percentage and also the scoring statistics, because I think we were actually near the top in scoring as well, as the fact that like after the All-Star break, we had these odd occurrences where like we would beat teams like 10-2.
Yeah. Fourth in runs. Yeah.
Yeah. We would just beat the living crap out of teams. And then we would go for like a week and a half scoring like 5 runs total. So the average makes it look very stilted. Yeah. So anyway, obviously very happy with the first season. Yeah. But my two things I was happiest about in my first Orioles baseball season was 90 wins, 91 wins, and beat the Yankees for a season series.
There you go.
That's pretty good.
A lot to build on. Still a very young roster. Their GM came out and said they are planning to spend more money this offseason. So
they're keeping Brandon Hyde.
We will see. Time will tell. There will be moves that you will scratch your head at. There will be moves that you applaud that you're wrong about. There will be moves that you are disappointed about that you will also be wrong about. So that's the fun thing about baseball is you're like, what are we doing? Get this guy. And then you get him and he's going to be great. And then you're like, oh, yes, we got. And then he's going to be terrible. So that's, at least from a Mariners fan perspective, more often it goes the other way, where you sign somebody you're very excited about and then they end up being Mitch Garver. So we move on to good versus evil. That is next. This is The Sinner and the Saint on 1080 The Fan.
Auto accident? Let Leif's Auto Collision Centers handle your claim from A to Z. We pick up your vehicle, negotiate your claim, fix it to pre-loss condition, handle the billing, and drop it off. No wonder a recent survey of Oregonians voted Leif's the #1 choice for repairs. With pickup and delivery, pre-loss repairs, factory parts, loaners, and manufacturer's recommendations, Leif's has been the consumer's choice for over 33 years. The law gives you the right to choose who repairs your vehicle. Choose Leif's, the finest in collision repair.
Hey, it's Isaac Robb for Window Nation. You know, it's getting cold, your heating bills are on the rise, and your house's old and damaged windows are letting all that heat and your money go right out the window. Good thing there's Window Nation. Right now, buy 2 windows and get 2 free, plus pay nothing for 24 months. You'll love your windows, like Albert, who says great value, great product, and great customer service. Hurry, this sale ends October 31st, so schedule a fast in-home estimate right now at 866-90-NATION or at windownation.com.
I'm Leif Hansen, owner of Leif's Auto Collision Centers. We've been helping with a documentary covering the auto insurance claims industry. If you've been in an accident, haven't filed a claim yet, and are insured with State Farm, Allstate, or Farmers, give me a call. The documentary crew is following individuals to record all the interactions you have with the insurance carrier from beginning to the end of your claim. All participants are compensated for their time. Contact me direct at Leif's Auto Collision Centers or on Leifs.com.
I'm Brian Tedesco, CEO of Blaupunkt Americas, the pioneers of the car stereo. Today, we're not just about sound systems. We are revolutionizing the e-bike scene with Blue Dot Bike. Thanks to AmericanEagle.com, our online presence now features a dynamic e-commerce website that showcases the quality and affordability of our foldable e-bikes. And our collegiate e-bikes, just perfect for the college fanatic. These e-bikes offer a new way to experience freedom on 2 wheels, no matter your age. When we needed a top-notch website to match our cutting-edge e-bikes, we turned to AmericanEagle.com. They made the impossible seem easy, tackling digital challenges like pros. Check out the Blue Dot Bike website to see AmericanEagle.com's amazing work in action. Need the best in website and digital marketing solutions? AmericanEagle.com is your go-to. They've been a game changer for us, and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW1. That's 877-WEB-NOW1.
Have you been too busy to keep up on sports this week?
What has happened to What has happened? What has happened to the national interest?
No time to form your own opinions?
I stand before you here today in the midst of gnarly times.
Well, no worries, brah. Let the Sinner and the Saint shred the gnar while you just sit back and ride the wave. It's time for Good versus Evil, brought to you by the Titan of Hawaiian Restaurants, 808 on 1080 The Fan.
So yesterday, Devontae went on the Up and Adams show and discussed, I guess, a social media post earlier this week. Is that something that was accidental on your part in terms of liking the post? Or?
Yeah, I'm just focused on Denver.
Have you communicated with Devontae, and where is the relationship with you?
I mean, Devontae talk often.
There's pissed off Raiders head coach Antonio Pierce. The big NFL news of the week is that the Raiders are reporting a willingness to trade wide receiver Davante Adams, who went to the Raiders 3 seasons ago to specifically play with his college teammate Derek Carr. Then the Raiders released Carr 2 seasons ago. Then, in a not so shocking way, Adams was declared out for the next 2 weeks with the famous hamstring injury. And his head coach didn't really seem to believe it, making his distaste known in a press conference and also liking a social media post that was not good for him. Jets and Saints rumored to be potential landing spots. Which team? Better option?
Yeah, Derek Carr or Aaron Rodgers. Those are the teams that Devontae Adams would like to go to. Honestly, I don't really think that either of them are going to make a ton of difference. The Saints came out of the gates red hot, and then have certainly cooled off since then. I mean, the initial thought that jumped into my head was Kansas City seems to be depleted at wide receiver, but you don't know the what's going on with Rashee Rice right now. But the other team that was thrown into the mix that I thought was really interesting was Baltimore. And I saw that just recently, maybe even as early as this morning, but if the Baltimore adds another weapon to that offense, now that they got Derrick Henry rolling, that's the one that scares me the most. If I was Devontae Adams, I would want no part of going to the New York Jets. Saints feels like a better fit out of those two, but if he goes to Baltimore, let's go. Come on.
Hi, Pete Rose here, in the hall. I love being in the hall. It's the perfect place to walk down memory lane in my Skechers Relax Fit shoes.
Pete, you're not supposed to be in the hall.
Even at home?
That's Pete Rose in a Skechers commercial. Now talk about the passing of Charlie Hustle. He had a complicated legacy. On one hand, he has more hits than any major league player ever. He got that nickname playing with a constant blur of effort and aggression. But on the other hand, he bet on games his team played in while he was a manager for the Cincinnati Reds, getting officially banned from baseball's Hall of Fame. How will you remember Pete Rose?
I mean, I think kind of that way. I mean, I didn't get a opportunity to watch him play live, so I don't have these memories of, the Big Red Machine or whatever the teams were that he played on, and it's not something that I have this visceral memory of, Pete Rose was this, great player. I just kind of have the recap of his life and him being just kind of a, just an odd figure around baseball. The problem is that he has a complicated legacy, so does baseball. I mean, I think I've talked about this before, but, going and visiting Wrigley Field, and on every step up to the L train, there is a DraftKings logo painted on the stair going up, and it won't be long. I wouldn't be surprised if you can bet in-stadium baseball action while you're at the stadium. And so for a guy to be banned from the Hall of Fame because of gambling, or the steroid era, or because of any of this, what are you trying to accomplish with your Hall of Fame? Ty Cobb is in there and is known for being one of the worst human beings that, professional sports has ever seen. But because it was accepted in his time, he's there. Gambling was not accepted in his time. It is now. Obviously, you can't bet on games if you're a manager or a player. That's still a big no-no. But gambling has been embraced by Major League Baseball, and here's Pete Rose sitting on the outside. The weird one is steroids were completely embraced at the time they were being played, yet afterwards we went, maybe this isn't the best thing for the game. But, and Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire were doing it. They're fun. They're good personalities. Barry Bonds does it, and he's pretty unlikable. Let's go ahead and make sure that we make this all go away. So the Hall of Fame, instead of actually embracing their kind of ugly history and the bad parts of it and putting up a plaque that goes, hey, this guy was great at playing baseball, but was kind of a dirtbag human being, those can be on the same thing. So we create these idols and we imbue them with all these other qualities. Well, he was great at baseball, so he must have been smart. He was probably good at home with his wife and kids, and he was probably philanthropist in his real life. No, he was good at baseball. Everything else could have been awful about the guy, but if it doesn't come to light, they can sit in the Hall of Fame. If it does come to light, then we get to decide who we judge and how we do it. It's a baseball Hall of Fame on the field. Pete Rose has the most hits of all time. He was great to watch. The legacy for people that watched him play is very different than people like me that just kind of know the story of it. Why not put up the whole history and let people decide on how they want to remember him?
O.J. Simpson.
Same thing. Like, it's O.J. Simpson. He's a Hall of Famer, right, in the NFL? Did they take down his bust? I get that.
Heisman winner.
Yeah, but he got a gold jacket.
Couldn't be stopped with a knife. Time for my favorite story of the week. This one comes from Montana.
Nordberg is how I remember him.
This one comes from Montana. Your headline: rancher sentenced to 6 months in prison for illegally cloning a giant sheep.
Wow. All right. Let's go for it.
The Montana rancher's illegal scheme began in 2012 when he paid for his son to hunt one of the world's largest sheep species in Kazakhstan. I don't know.
Okay.
Used parts of the sheep in the following years to breed an even larger sheep hybrid species and sell those animals to hunters.
Okay.
What two animals would you mix? That's my lead way into this.
Okay, yeah, my grandma had the old jackalope mounted in her house, the bunny rabbit with antlers. That was always a fun one to look at, but obviously not real. What two animals would I breed? What are we trying to do for hunting purposes?
Morbid curiosity purposes.
Yeah, see, for hunting purposes, it's not the jackalope, it's the bear, half bear, half deer. You can get a grizzly bear with a set of elk antlers or bighorn sheep horns. If you could get antlers on a bear.
I don't think you want that.
Oh, no, you don't want
You don't want that smoke.
But you're talking about mounting it on a wall? Let's go. I mean, this is what hunters want. Listen, if you're creating a creature just to hunt, you want it to be as gnarly as possible. Look what I got. I think that's where you go. If you're trying to, domesticate a pet, I don't know. Don't you want a dinosaur? Isn't that all we really want?
It's not really a mix, though.
No, it's really not. Well, I mean, you can mix the dinosaurs. You watch any of those newer Jurassic Park movies that are absolutely terrible? They're mixing dinosaurs. Oh, they did a half raptor, half T-Rex. Oh, my goodness.
I would rather they, with those movies, just splice the humans.
Well, they did that. No, that was
Do it like a fly.
They did two storylines, and my wife and my kids love the Jurassic Park movies, and they had it on the other day. They were watching the one, so they have the one where the scientist cloned his daughter. She died, and so he cloned her, and so his granddaughter was really just a clone of his daughter, and that was like the backstory behind it. The other dumb thing in that movie, I don't know which one this is, like Jurassic World or something, but that's the one where they were cloning all these dinosaurs and doing hybrid dinosaurs. They're selling them. How much would you pay for a dinosaur if they weaponized dinosaurs and sold them off at an auction? What do you think they would go for?
$1 trillion?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. In the movie, it's like it's up to $20 million, and I'm like,
no,
really?
I think
really?
$1 trillion. Because once you have a dinosaur, you can just take over other countries pretty quickly.
That's what I'm saying.
You just release the dinosaur into the country.
My wife is watching the movie. I go, is this a stupid one where they're selling dinosaurs for a couple $1 million each? And she goes, it's not that dumb. I go, dude, if you could weaponize a dinosaur, and I did tell my wife, dude, I said, if you could weaponize a dinosaur and you're selling it off, it's selling for a lot more than $20 million.
Yeah.
And I assume it comes with like one of those plans where it's like when you buy a dishwasher, they're like, yeah, if everything goes wrong in the first year, we'll send somebody out to take care of it.
Yeah.
I assume you get all of the backup plan that goes with the genetically modified dinosaur.
So think of it this way, right? Like, let's say China buys a T-Rex.
Yeah.
You don't think they're just going to airlift that thing, drop it in the middle of New York City, and let it do its thing?
Yes! It's like, I'm pretty sure.
The only way you're stopping it is dropping a nuke on it. You're not going to drop a nuke on your own country.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dude,
so,
come on.
yeah, I think $1 trillion at least, because you're ending every war ever.
I said there's zero chance that a single dinosaur goes for less than $1 billion. And then the weaponized one, yes, I think you're 100% correct.
Come on.
The most recent of the stupid Jurassic Park movies was they made like prehistoric locusts or something. They went and wiped out a bunch of crops.
Oh my!
Very, very stupid. But yes, flying humans.
So do
or
they
something
make
like that.
human hybrid dinosaurs in this?
No, I haven't seen. That might be the next one. They're making another one.
Oh, they are.
Yeah. What would you, if you could mix with any animal to be more powerful? What would you like? I guess it'd be your offspring.
2 animals?
No, you plus animal.
Oh, me animal?
Yeah. If you can, let's go old weird Greek centaur things.
What kind of animal would I want to be?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean it'd be still you. It'd be half you, half animal.
Oh.
And assuming that like you don't get like the top of a mermaid, like weird, poorly done hybrid. You get the best parts of an animal. What are you taking?
Maybe like a badger or a wolverine. Dude,
would you have to
joking?
Would you have to play for Michigan?
No, I mean I would just go around just terrorizing people.
You'd become a monster.
Oh my goodness!
See,
You're not stopping me.
The ideal
Are you
one.
Kidding me?
What's that?
You're not stopping me.
No way.
I have incredible digging abilities. I'm ferocious.
Digging.
Definitely feral.
So it'd be like your body with like you'd have their claws.
Yeah, and I'd have the fur and the really tough skin
all right.
and the razor sharp teeth.
I don't know.
And I would be even more of a pain in the ass than I am now.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So you wouldn't.
I would have terrible takes and scream at you.
What's all those scratches on the inside of the production booth? Well, Will got angry.
Lamar Jackson's not that good.
I mean, I think the easy one would be you'd want to be some sort of you'd want to have flight would be like the cool thing to take.
Yeah.
But if you had to replace, let's say I could give you wings, but you had to replace your arms. I don't think you want any. part of that.
See, that's what I think.
Yeah.
Unless we're going like a dogma thing here.
Yeah, where you get the wings out the back,
my
like the
back.
Angels'
Okay,
wings.
that's
But I think a lot of people think when they add wings,
Yeah.
I think they have to replace your arms.
And that was my thought too.
Yeah.
Is like I would like to use hands.
Yeah,
I enjoy them.
Whatever I can do to keep my hands.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're pretty helpful. I'm with you there. All right. Well, that's your Good versus Evil. It's brought to you by friends at 808 Hawaiian Restaurant. They are not mixed with any other animals. They're just people. They do serve some animals. Kalua pig, Kalbi ribs. Let's go. If you're trying to do something for your tailgate today, recommend just go 808. 3 locations. Woodstock, Burnside, and in Beaverton. Online, ate-oh-ate.com. In hour 2, we've got to get to some NFL. We'll get back into college football. There's a lot more games than what we've discussed up to this point. So a lot of football. Hour 2 coming up next. Sinner and Saint on 1080 The Fan.
This is Rick Jones of Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Child custody is the most emotional issue our clients face. If you're a divorcing father, the relationship with your children is about to change. But that change doesn't have to be for the worse. Kids already feel the stress of parents who don't get along, and they can thrive after a divorce. Kids trust their dads. Their dads trust Goldberg Jones. Call 1-800-DIVORCE and get your phone questions answered at no charge.
Serving the greater Portland, Vancouver area.
Tired of hearing scary ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. We may be able to significantly reduce and even eliminate what you owe to the IRS. Taxpayers should know. Huge savings are now being made available through the Fresh Start program that can drastically reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. Even if you haven't filed your taxes in years or are facing wage garnishment, liens, levies, or under audit, we can help. We've earned over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today. To see what savings you may qualify for, visit us online at TRA.com or call us at 800-511-0379. 800-511-0379. Again, that's 800-511-0379. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It's time to review the top 3 highlights of the day. I'm joined as always by my co-anchor Snoop.
Hey, what up, though?
Snoop, number 1 has to be getting the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence at T-Mobile.
Yeah, you should hustle down to T-Mobile like a dog chasing a squirrel chasing a nut.
Nice analogy, Snoop. Dogs do love to chase squirrels.
And squirrels love to chase those nuts.
On to highlight number 2. At T-Mobile, families can save 20% every month versus the other big guys.
That is very impressive. You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
That's exactly what I'm planning on doing with my savings, Snoop. Now, take it away, Snoop.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on them. Now drop that jingle.
24-monthly bill credits, eligible trade-in on Go 5G Next. Well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 connection charge. Cancel entire account before receiving 24 bill credits and credits stop and balance on required finance agreement due. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See how you can save versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.
The home of Colin Cowherd, always live on the Odyssey app, is KFXX, KWJJ, HD2 Portland, 1080, The Fan.
Ad-libbing, off-script.
An Odyssey sports station. Now, from the Fan Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
First on The Fan, all the lights were on Eugene Friday night as the Oregon Ducks dismantled Michigan State 31-10. Dylan Gabriel throwing a pair of touchdown passes and ran for another. Jordan James, 166 yards on the ground. That's a career high. Oregon now 5-0, 2-0 in the Big Ten, heading into next weekend's game at home against the third-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. And the Oregon State Beavers are back in action after a bye week, welcoming Colorado State to Reser Stadium. Beavs are favored by 11 points. First kick at 3:30 on the CW Network. More sports scores and stories. 30 minutes, Will Darkins from the Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player. Tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
The original home of the Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays 9 to noon, 1080 The Fan. sports.
Oh, this is so good.
The Final Frontier. These are the voices of the sinner and the saint.
Did you really think that after absolutely blowing your butt out in game one? Did they blow their butt out? Yes, they blew their collective butts out to try to get that win.
Oh, their weekly mission to provide hot takes, medium takes, mild takes, to boldly go where no show has gone before.
Take me to Flavortown.
Luke Anderson.
You're welcome. You're welcome, world.
Will Darkins.
I know what you're thinking. What will the butt test tell us that the nose test didn't?
The Sinner and the Saint Tailgate Show on 1080 The Fan. The
Odyssey.
Map.
It's just turned into a gigantic Mexican.
And 1080thefan.com.
Hour 2! If you missed anything from Hour 1, shame on you. Try to be better. That's all we ask. But don't worry, podcast, it's available. 1080thefan.com, Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app. We've started geocaching on this show, so will be sending out a Morse code message later today that will have the geographic code that you can go and find the longitude and latitude, and there'll be a hidden podcast out there somewhere in the woods. That'll be fantastic for you. Now that Will has Wolverine powers, he's been practicing digging holes, so bring your shovel.
To hit me.
That's right. Oh, really? You gonna fight you
I'm
for
going to
it?
keep you from it. You're going to say, I think I hear that podcast.
You gotta go out and fight Will for it. Vancouver Ford text line. All texts on the fan review of the Vancouver Ford text line. Your dollar goes further at Vancouver Ford. They treat you right before, during, and after the sale. You can visit VancouverFord.com to get started. 503-TOGO-FAN, to go fan. Somebody says that we were talking about mixing animals. If you could combine any two monstrous creatures to make it ferocious. Somebody says hippo, anaconda, hippoconda, Will's worst nightmare.
I might have a difficult time fighting that one.
Is that true? Would it be a hippo with a anaconda head?
Or an anaconda.
And the ability to unhinge its jaw and swallow you whole? Or would it be,
just a big-ass snake?
A snake with, hippo strength?
And teeth.
Yeah.
Except the snake's teeth are more frightening.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking it's like an anaconda with a hippo's girth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and power.
That's more frightening.
That's the most frightening version
yeah.
of it. Yeah.
Or, I don't know, man.
It's just a beefed up, beefy snake.
Yeah, but
because the
thinking
hippo
about,
head.
If you got a hippo and it has the agility of a snake.
Yeah.
And, it's more nuanced in how it kills.
A sleeker hippo.
Yeah, now I'm getting a little scared of that.
I think either combination. And I don't think you just go hippo head on a snake body, whatever. No, I think you're right. It's the snakeification of a hippo or the hippification of a snake that make it worse. Not one part becomes true of the other. But
no, I mean, this goes back to my long-held belief that
you could take
I could take a hippo. If I rope-a-doped a hippo, I could do it.
Yep. Nobody believes you.
That's fine. They don't have to. You know what Steve Jobs said?
No.
He said, this is wise words from Steve Jobs.
He said, I hate my family and I hate everybody that works for me and you're all idiots. I'm the smartest person in the world. Did he say that?
He said...
Hey, do you have another black turtleneck that I could purchase? Can I just get 30 of these?
No. He said...
Mom jeans are the future.
He said, listen.
Oh.
You can't prove that you're my daughter. Wait, no, that's not the one.
Yeah.
That's another thing I love on the internet. A lot of entrepreneurs and insufferable people put up Steve Jobs quotes.
Yeah.
It's he was just a nightmare human being, right?
Well, this goes back to my thing with our athletes that we were talking about, Pete Rose thing. It's, listen, imbuing all these other qualities because they're good in one area of their life doesn't mean they're great everywhere.
No.
You have to realize this.
Steve Jobs is just really good at selling stuff.
Well, sure. And to be really good at selling stuff, you have to kind of shut off one of the good parts of your brain. It's just kind of
true.
Just kind of how it works. So yeah, listen, if you're singularly focused on one thing and accomplish great things, there's a possibility that you have limited your focus in other areas that are kind of important to being a well-balanced human being. But you can still be great at stuff. Just worth keeping in mind. All right, the college football landscape. There's not a lot of great games today. But you were talking about top 10 teams that didn't look like top 10 teams, and you suggested Oregon might be one of those. At least the early returns right now are showing that Missouri definitely not one of those teams.
Yeah, I know that.
Any other imposters that you're looking at? If you pull up the rankings right now, I will talk so that you have time to bring up the rankings, or I've got them in front of me if you'd like me to go through. But is there anybody else in the top 10 that looks like a poser to you? Right now, Missouri being exposed. They are number 9. 8 is Miami. 7 is Penn State. Stop me if you hear a pretender. Oregon, number 6. Georgia, number 5. Tennessee, 4. Ohio State, 3. Texas, 2. Alabama,
I mean, look,
1.
everybody's kind of where they should be. I guess Michigan being in the top 10 is kind of odd just because I felt like they got exposed against Texas and proved that, like, look, you guys are good, but not a top 10 team.
Washington hosting Michigan. Washington is favored in that game.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Poor Jed Fish in his first season there.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't going to be easy. They left the cupboard kind of bare, and Alabama it seems to be rolling with Kalen DeBoer, so it looks like that was not as fluky of a hire when the team that you leave gets worse than the team that you go to, in this case, can't get a whole lot better. But, hey, they beat Georgia, which has been their Achilles heel at the end of Saban's era.
I'm still kind of I got a jury out on Kalen DeBoer because I don't know how great of a recruiter he is.
Well, time will tell.
Very obviously, very great coach and very great football mind. But, like, what did he do when he got to Washington? Didn't he just literally just pick a bunch of dudes out of the transfer portal? Just like, get over here.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, hey, listen, if you're in the transfer portal and the guy from Alabama goes, get over here, you're like, okay. So,
there? Okay.
Hey, it's a different era of college football. I mean, getting guys and develop them is one thing, but if there's ready-made players ready to go, I mean, little better season for the Buffs this year using that philosophy than they had last year. So we're not talking about Deion as much because they're not undefeated and they're not on pace to be a college football playoff team, but they do look better.
Sure.
But I'm just
They have the most exciting player in the country. That's kind of
they've got something. They've got something going on a little bit, but not a ton. Hey, let's talk a little NFL. The Seahawks got kind of whipped a little bit on Monday night, but is that a good thing? We'll figure it out. We'll talk about it next. Sinner and Saint, 1080 The Fan.
I'm Leif Hansen, owner of Leif's Auto Collision Centers. We've been helping with a documentary covering the auto insurance claims industry. If you've been in an accident, haven't filed a claim yet, and are insured with State Farm, Allstate, or Farmers, give me a call. The documentary crew is following individuals to record all the interactions you have with the insurance carrier from beginning to the end of your claim. All participants are compensated for their time. Contact me direct at Leif's Auto Collision Centers or on Leifs.com.
If football and chicken wings were made for each other, then the MVP of the league, every league, would be Big's Chicken. Dine in, take out, or catering. Check them out at bigschicken.com.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
Auto accident? Let Leif's Auto Collision Centers handle your claim from A to Z. We pick up your vehicle, negotiate your claim, fix it to pre-loss condition, handle the billing, and drop it off. No wonder a recent survey of Oregonians voted Leif's the #1 choice for repairs. With pickup and delivery, pre-loss repairs, factory parts, loaners, and manufacturer's recommendations, Leif's has been the consumer's choice for over 33 years. The law gives you the right to choose who repairs your vehicle. Choose Leif's, the finest in collision repair.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Progressive presents Renters MVP's Most Valuable Possessions.
Today's MVP, Joe Fallon's bedroom mini fridge. Sure, this pint-sized chiller's max capacity is 3 soda cans, but what it lacks in stature, it makes up in cooling strength. Each beverage a perfect 37 degrees every time. And the 2 feet Joe walks to get a drink, priceless. That's why his mini fridge is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
What's better than 1 win? 3 wins? With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get 1 line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
The Sinner and the Saint Tailgate with Luke Anderson and Will Darkins on 1080 The Fan.
Tough Monday night game for the Seattle Seahawks.
Tough, but great.
What? How fun was that?
That was awesome.
You watched it. You texted me before the game going, man, this is going to be a rough one. You knew kind of what was coming. The Seahawks missing 5 key players on defense and then losing Julian Love early in that game. But that was a shootout. What was your takeaway from that game? More about the Seahawks not being good enough or the Lions just being great? The Lions were awesome in that game.
Yeah, the Lions were awesome.
Perfect passing game for Jared Goff.
Jared Goff, man. Look, I don't know if there's a better story, honestly, right now in the NFL than Jared Goff. Really, I truly believe that because the guy got drafted to a Rams team, and people often forget about his first season because his head coach was Jeff Fisher.
Yes, it was.
And his rookie season was a nightmare. It was bad, and he looked like a bust, like a genuine certified FDA approved bust.
Does the FDA approve?
Oh
bust?
yeah, they do.
That's nice because you know what? There's a few guys that are on the line. I'll just check the FDA website. Yeah.
And so he goes through this first season, right? And he has an incompetent coach, and then they bring in, with, at the time, a great amount of uncertainty, Sean McVay.
Yep.
But Sean
youngest
McVay,
coach in NFL history, right?
Yeah, Sean McVay turns out to be, a very good thing for Jared Goff's career. But with it comes this kind of added layer of scrutiny of, is McVay just pulling the strings here because of the comm device in the quarterback's helmet? Many people started to speculate that basically McVay is doing a no
Roxanne?
huddle. Well, no, he's doing a no huddle, fast-paced offense, basically to say, like, look, the mics don't get shut off before then, so basically once you get to the line, I'm going to tell you everything that's going on. Yeah. And so Goff, after Gurley leaves and after the Rams kind of have their come down from their Super Bowl appearance in whatever that was, 17, I think, he gets bad. He gets so bad that when he's healthy, they prefer the backup over him with like 2 games left in the season.
Just no confidence and
none.
And they have
reports
no
come out that
confidence in
McVay
himself.
found
They have no
him
confidence
awful.
in him.
They didn't like him, and so then he is traded to a team that has been deemed
an NFL outpost where quarterbacks go to die.
NFL Siberia.
Yes. Yeah.
Go there and leave us alone.
Yeah.
He gets there, and it just so happens it is the place he needed to be.
Well, the crazy thing about it too, though, is if you look at the contrasting styles between Sean McVay and Dan Campbell, that's one of the things that, yes, the idea that, he could go and find some salvation there, but dude, what a contrast where McVay is this guy that is, innovative and creative, and we're going to go out there and we're going to re-engineer the game and make it whatever. And Jared Goff is this Cal Berkeley guy who, is not a huge personality. He's kind of a precision pocket passer. You'd think that would be the good fit. And then he goes to the Dan Campbell, bite your kneecaps. Let's put a real lion on the field. We're playing hard-nosed, tough football. That seems like the place that Jared Goff, California, blonde hair, would not fit. yet he's absolutely thrived out there. And it's just a building up of going, you're our guy. We have faith in you, and rebuilding the guy's confidence. It's pretty outstanding.
It's pretty outstanding. And I think that too, what it also
and then Dan Campbell goes, I didn't realize he had a perfect game.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Which
Goff didn't either.
Yeah, how would you? Because he threw an incomplete pass that ended up being a penalty.
Yeah,
so it wasn't like the
doesn't
ball
count.
never hit the ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty funny.
Two,
I gave the game ball to the wrong guy.
I think this whole thing has also made me come to the realization of I'm tired of Matthew Stafford. I'm so done.
Well, he got
with
a
it.
Super Bowl.
I know, and you know what? That was just one of those instances where I wasn't on board with the rest of the NFL community. Everyone wanted Matt Stafford to get a Super Bowl, and in my eyes, I was kind of like, why?
Yeah.
Why do we want this guy to get a Super Bowl? Let's all kind of be honest with each other. Calvin Johnson's not there. That guy's average.
Yeah, well,
that guy
maybe.
is baseline average.
I
Go look at the stats
I
and
don't
see
have a
how
problem
many
with Matthew
yards were
Stafford.
contributed to Calvin Johnson.
Yeah.
Also, go back and look at the interception rate of Matt Stafford in Detroit. That guy, through a Jameis Winston-style bipolar play, held that franchise hostage probably for the last 4 years of his career because he goes, who else are you going to get?
Yeah.
Pay me.
Yeah.
Pay me, a-holes.
Yeah.
I want the money to go in there, get hurt, gone for 5 weeks, come back and miss the playoffs. That's what we do here, right?
Yeah.
Come on, shut up, dummy. Give me the money. And so when he got traded, and for some reason everybody embraced Matt Stafford, so, oh, he can finally get his Super Bowl. I was like, this guy is average. And then he friggin' gets to the Rams, and he happens upon one of the most, again, dynamic receivers ever. I just, to me, I was kind of like, just shut up and go away. I'm done with it. Dude, you throw picks constantly. You're really not that great. You also luck into having one of the greatest offensive minds.
Yeah. Well, you know what though?
You have one Super Bowl play where you made a no-look pass.
What do we talk?
Great.
What do we talk about constantly in the NFL? The quarterback being the most important position is, I think, the easy through line that you can draw. But it's that coach-quarterback combo, and if you can make it work, it's a tenuous relationship at best because it worked with Goff and McVay for a certain amount of time. But when it stopped working hard. And then you get Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, and it worked for a very long time. But when that breakup was kind of ugly, and you have these marriages where, dude, Andy Reid almost had it with Donovan McNabb. They went to 4 or 5 straight NFC Championship games and a Super Bowl, but it wasn't quite right. And then he gets Patrick Mahomes, and boom, it's magic. So it's getting like you get that right relationship, and it can work for a while. And if you can make it work until it doesn't, you can wring a lot of really good football out of it. Seattle's a perfect example of this. Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson, they were great together until they weren't. And then it was awful. So it's very interesting how it works, and who knows what the end result will be of Jared Goff's career. But I think there's a lot of people that were happy to see Matthew Stafford to win his Super Bowl out in LA. I think the entire NFL would be ecstatic to see the Lions, unless they beat your team directly. I think at the end of the day, if the Lions and Jared Goff get a Super Bowl, I think that would be something where everybody just goes, you know what? A little golf clap.
Yeah, and I think too, part of the reason the Matthew Stafford sympathy comes into play is because he was on such terrible teams for such a long time. But again, I like to point out that, if the quarterback really is the most important position on the field and you're that bad for that long, I guess, what does it say about you?
Yeah, but we know that the Lions
There's
have had
really
ownership
not
problems.
too many other examples of what happened to Matthew Stafford. There really aren't in the NFL. Because it's not even just like he missed out on Super Bowls, because you could maybe throw that out for a couple guys. Let's say Jim Kelly, right? You go, oh, we never got to say. The Bills were incredible. They made it to 4 straight Super Bowls.
Yep.
He was very, very good. And then they just couldn't hit on it. Can you give me a guy who just was statistically, if you look at him on paper and ignore the interceptions, was, Hall of Fame career, but the team just stunk butt for a decade.
And you're thinking quarterbacks?
Yes.
I'd have to
There's
go.
no one.
Well,
I can't think of.
That was. I'd have to put a little more thought into this. What I was pulling up was the
Excellent. Help me.
The head coaches, that that Matthew Stafford played with.
Okay.
Jim Schwartz,
Mm-hmm.
Jim Caldwell,
Mm-hmm.
and then you said the last 4 years he held the team hostage with how bad he was.
Mm-hmm.
It was Matt Patricia was their head coach,
That's fine, dude.
and Darrell Bevell,
Great.
who took
Can,
over.
can you
mid-season.
have more than one playoff appearance if you're that great?
just-
That's kind of my gripe with this.
I've got three
Is
playoff.
that-
I've got three playoff losses in 2011, 2014, and 2016. They lost them all. I'll give you that. But that was
To me,
those are all
if
Matthew
you are
Stafford years.
if you are a legendary quarterback, or what's being touted as, because that's what this whole thing was.
I will give you a guy now that I'm thinking about it
Yeah.
that was great and never won anything.
Yeah.
Dan Marino. He went to one Super Bowl very early.
He went to one Super Bowl.
I know, but
how many playoff
but-
appearances?
Dan Marino.
Yeah.
Oh,
How many playoff wins?
well, let's
Let's
take
look it up.
I'll pull up Dan Marino. Well, I guess we went Dolphins seasons. So,
Dolphins season.
well, that's the way we need to do it, right? They're not going to tell me how many playoff victories that Dan Marino had.
You
I
could
mean, I
probably
guess
get that
I
on
could-
Football Reference.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess.
yeah. Well, we'll just pull this up.
Alright.
So Marino went to the. What year did they go to the Super Bowl? Was that so? That would have been 84. They've got a win in 85, win in 90. Right? He didn't lose all his playoff games up until
No.
2000. Yeah,
They were fine.
Yeah.
Maybe at the end of his career, yeah, but
I just,
that
I'm
happens
just
with
trying
most
to think,
quarterbacks.
but he didn't win. He's the guy that you go to that never won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but he won
but
playoff
you're right.
games and they were successful. I mean,
Yeah.
wasn't Matt Stafford the quarterback on dubbed the worst team in NFL history?
The worst team in NFL history,
Yes.
0-16. That was Rod Marinelli in 2008. Was that Matthew Stafford? I think it was.
Maybe it was. Maybe he was just before that or after, rather.
Because
I think Stafford was on the Bulldogs when they kicked Hawaii's ass.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I don't have a roster of the 2008.
Why don't you just chat GPT it?
Chat
Gemini
GPT.
it. Yeah, ask him.
Yeah.
See it. Yeah, let's see what Chat GPT has to say.
What-
Say who was the starting quarterback for the Detroit Lions in 2008?
Well, I just pulled up Matthew Stafford's career, and so he was. He took over in 2009. So after he was the number one pick.
Okay.
To fill in when they were 0-1,000. So yeah. So
All right.
he missed it by a
Wrong
year.
on that.
You're wrong on that.
I get tired of this crap with lionizing that guy. I mean, you were also on a Super Bowl winning team that had arguably the greatest defensive player in a generation.
Yeah.
Like, boy, well, that seems tough.
Hey, listen, you can hate Matthew Stafford all you want.
Were you in a division too that, like, noticeably you at that time you had like one team to beat? Really,
Aaron Rodgers and they were pretty good though.
Won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, Vikings.
Been to the playoffs
Vikings
many times.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to think on that. more.
Jesus, Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins won a playoff game.
Baker Mayfield won a playoff
Baker
game.
Mayfield's won a playoff game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude. If you're at a team for that long and you have those kind of
what
stats,
you're looking for,
and you can't win a frigging playoff game, I don't know what to say about you.
Yeah.
Maybe you're the problem.
Has Dak
I don't know.
Has Dak Prescott won a playoff game?
No, and that's another great example.
Yeah.
Dak
Wow.
Prescott's an awesome example of this, which is like people talk about him like he's incredible, but they don't win playoff games.
Yeah.
And they're predictable. It's so predictable. They won 11 games. Well, all right, let's watch them lose a playoff game again.
Yeah.
It's
Best
gonna be great.
quarterback who never won a playoff game. Let's see. We got some Reddit stuff here. That's a tricky one.
Again, Chat GPT that, man.
Archie Manning never won a playoff game. Sonny Jurgensen, is that true? No.
You said
I don't know.
Sonny Jerkofson?
I did not. Let's do this. I'll do some research, but first we need to get people their scoreboard updates. So we'll do that right now. Your college football scoreboard update, and then worst quarterback never to win a playoff game, or best.
You said worst?
Yeah, the worst quarterback not to win a playoff game. That's easy, I think. Just who's the worst quarterback? Like Nathan Peterman never won one. Tim Tebow won a playoff game.
Andy Dalton.
Did he? He never won one, did he?
They never won one.
There you go. Andy Dalton's a good comp.
Yes.
Yes. That's a pretty good comp.
Quite honestly, that's the only thing separating Matthew Stafford and Andy Dalton.
Yeah, he's got a bigger
Super Bowl.
Got a bigger arm.
It's such a big arm.
Well, no, Andy Dalton ended
And
up
you know, too, what's so great
Andy
about
Dalton ended up as a
Stafford?
backup for the Bears and the Panthers, and Matthew Stafford got traded to a ready-to-win team.
You know what's so great about Matthew Stafford,
Tell
too?
me.
Is that his wife is just delightful.
Is she? I think she is. I think that sounds right, that I've never heard anything about her being awful all the time. Did you get to this stupid scoreboard? Idiot.
All right. Some of, pretty much all the 9 a.m. games are at halftime right now. Penn State up 14-3 on UCLA.
Big Ten action. Wisconsin Badgers 21-6 over the Purdue Boilermakers at the half.
Texas A&M up 24-0 on number 9 Missouri. Holy smokes.
The All-Coast Conference, Boston College, Virginia, BC has the 14-6 halftime advantage.
SMU up 21-13 on Louisville. Just a few seconds left in the first half.
The 58 seconds left in the battle between Navy and Air Force. Navy up 21-7 on Air Force. Navy undefeated.
More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Will Darkins from the Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player. Tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
Join Isaac and Souk for a Monday night party at the Stadium Sports Bar and Grill at A. Primetime will be live from 3 to 7 while you watch the game on the region's largest video wall with great food, drinks, wing specials, and more. Don't forget the A Sportsbook where you can bet on pro and college football. A football party with Isaac and Souk and you. Monday night at the Stadium Sports Bar at A. More info at 1080thefan.com.
The Fan 411.
Join Isaac and Souk for a football party at the Stadium Sports Bar and Grill at A. Primetime will be live from 3 to 7 p.m. on Monday night, October 7th, while you watch the game on the region's largest video wall. Great food, drinks, wing specials, and more are all part of the fun. And so is the A Sportsbook, where you can bet on pro and college football. For more information on the Isaac and Souk football party at A, go to 1080thefan.com.
That's the Fan 411.
Portland Perks. Head to Portland Perks for an amazing deal at Wildlife Safari. Admission for two for just $28.75. Wildlife Safari is just south of Roseburg and a fun adventure for the whole family. Limited quantity available only at PortlandPerks.com.
Reynolds Defense Firms, one promise. This is McDaniel Reynolds with the Reynolds Defense Firm, and we specialize in one thing. We represent good people facing DUI charges. Trust is a big deal to me, both personally and professionally, and I believe at the core of trust is a very simple concept. Be genuine. Be genuine in what you say. Be genuine in what you do. And I believe being genuine is what makes Reynolds Defense Firm so successful at helping good people facing DUI charges. There's no pretense here. What you see is what you get. We do what we say we are going to do, and we don't make promises we can't keep. In fact, there's only one promise we make to our clients because there's only one thing within our complete control. We promise every client we represent that we will do the absolute best we can for them. And since DUI law is our specialty, and we have a fantastic team of lawyers and staff, our absolute best can be pretty amazing. If you or someone you believe in faces a DUI charge, call Reynolds Defense Firm today, because you want Reynolds Defense Firm on your side. Reynolds Defense Firm. We're solid, we're here if you need us, and we are very good at what we do.
It's not just about watching the game, it's about betting on it. I'm Mike Valeni, and on Cash the Ticket, Jim Costa and I break down every college football and NFL matchup like it's the last game we're ever going to watch. From the best bets to the sneaky underdogs, and of course, as my co-host likes to say, the value. And the one thing we're not going to do is pretend we're professionals. We have fun with it, it's an entertainment product, and it makes watching games a hell of a lot of fun. So Cash the Ticket, follow it in the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppable, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
The Sinner and the Saint Tailgate with Luke Anderson and Will Darkins on 1080 The Fan.
All right, before we jump back towards the college football realm, we got to get you all the answer to this question. Trying to find out the best quarterback never to win in the playoffs. Hall of Fame lists. These are quarterbacks that are Hall of Famers that never won a playoff game. Y.A. Tittle never won a playoff game. 4 tries.
I don't know who that is.
What?
Who?
It's Y.A. Tittle. He's a Hall of Famer. He's class of 71. Sammy Baugh, Tuffy Lehmans. Sammy Baugh and Tuffy
Oh my
Lehmans.
God.
Both
What was
played,
that?
Both played one playoff game. And
Say that name again.
Tuffy Lehmans.
I love that name.
Yeah, Tuffy.
More than anything.
All right.
That is a great name. Are you kidding me right now? Tuffy Lehmans?
Tuffy. Tuffy Lehmans.
Now,
Tuffy.
that sounds like a bookie who will break your knees.
Why don't you talk to my guy Tuffy? Have you not read the Berenstain Bears and the Bully to young Finn?
We haven't gotten that
F.
one
Luke
yet.
Darkins?
We had Bernstein Bears. It's Bernstein, by the way.
Berenstain.
Stain.
It's Berenstain.
Okay. Go look
Whatever.
it up.
Doesn't matter. What?
It's spelled
Don't care.
S-T-A-I-N.
Not worried about it. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, we read the one with the green.
Oh, the green-eyed monster.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, gotta watch out for that jealousy thing. Yeah, I want that bike. You can't even touch the pedals, Sister Bear. Why don't you shut up? In the Bully, Sister Bear gets beat up by a bully. You know what the bully's name is?
Marcus.
Tuffy.
Oh, Tuffy.
It's Tuffy. It's Tuffy. So I will not be able to get any Tuffy. Career playoffs, yeah, not great. 40 attempts. 40 attempts for 92 yards.
Ah, Tuffy.
He did have a rough rushing touchdown. Tuffy played 8 seasons for the Giants.
All right.
There you go.
I've had
Hall
enough of
Famer.
Tuffy. Who's next?
And that's it. Those are the 3. Those are the 3 Hall of Famers that never won a playoff game.
Okay.
But the most egregious of the Hall of Famers is Warren Moon had 3 wins in 10 tries.
Three playoff wins in 10
3
tries.
playoff wins
Yep.
in 10 tries. That's
Yep.
about Dan Fouts' 3 playoff wins in 7 tries. Same with George Blanda, Norm and Blockland, Otto Graham, some old timers there. But really, that's about
Yeah, George.
Dan Marino, 8 playoff wins, 18 tries.
Yeah.
That's not great.
But again,
it's not great, Bob.
You won playoff games.
Yeah, I get you. I got you.
And two, you weren't. And I guess this is why I'm saying this is that
I'm with you.
like Matthew Stafford's career with the Lions had more losing seasons than winning.
Okay, so here's the argument that I'll give
because
against.
there even might be one of those playoff appearances where they had a losing season and they just got in because the NFC North or NFC Central or whatever the hell it was at that time, NFC North probably just was bad that year. Who knows?
Here's the other argument that I'll give you, and this is you hear this often. Who are the 2 worst run franchises, cheapest franchises in NFL history? And the Lions, it's been pretty well documented that the new ownership has really made a commitment to this team. So it's not just
the new Ford.
The new Ford, but still, she's taken over and they've made a commitment to it. It's not just Dan Campbell. The ownership has made a big change. But for a long time, the 2 worst run franchises in the NFL were the Detroit Lions and
Bengals.
The Bengals. Yeah. And the other 2 quarterbacks that came up on a list outside of the Hall of Fame, articles from 2018 and 2015 are the ones that I found. The other 2 quarterbacks in there are Andy Dalton and Carson Palmer.
Carson Palmer, yeah.
I mean, but those are the 2. So,
but
yes,
you know what?
Yes,
Here's
we
the
can put
thing
Matthew
with
Stafford
Palmer,
in that list.
And here's the thing with Palmer.
I know he blew
again.
out his knee in that start, in the first play against the Steelers.
Well, not only that, but he went to the Cardinals.
Yep. And he
they
lost
went to
one
an
there.
NFC title game. They did. In 2015, they went to the NFC title game and lost against Cam Newton.
Was that with Palmer?
Yes. Yeah, dude.
He played because I'm looking at this. Yeah, you're right. 2 games with the Cardinals. You're right. But
Because I remember that one and thinking like, I'm pretty sure the Cardinals will win.
Yeah.
Because I thought the Cam magic would run out. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, I just to kind of wrap it all up in a nice package. I think what bothers me about the lionizing
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Lionizing.
of Matthew Stafford was the fact that like people seemed to not put the onus of losses on him.
Well,
they just didn't. And I think that we all kind of understand the most important position on the football field. It's the quarterback. Whether you want to argue in one way or another, it's true.
What's the argument against it? Left tackle.
Well, people that
Actually,
teams
left
that
tackle.
win Super Bowls, you can throw, like your 2001 Ravens,
Your
you can say
Brad
Trent,
Johnsons and your Trent Dilfers or whatever, yeah.
sucks. And you can have those arguments, but more times than not, probability wise, you will be a better team if your quarterback's really good. And they were horrible for a long time. And Matt Stafford put up great stats. So what does that mean? It means you had a legendary wide receiver who could not
all time.
Yeah, all time, who was basically the physical specimen of Randy Moss, but more physical. And you could throw it up to him. Why do you think he had so many friggin' interceptions? Because at a certain point, Matt Stafford just went, well, let's see. He's going to run a go route. Megatron, you just run a go route, and maybe there's double coverage, but
what a great nickname, Megatron.
Maybe
too.
I'll just throw it up just to say. I
You hate
wasn't
Matthew
about
Stafford.
It.
I think we get it.
I just wasn't about it, and I didn't like the idea that they were like he deserves a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
it's like no, he doesn't.
He forces
nobody deserves anything.
Yeah, there you go. I'm with you there. I'm with you there.
He didn't do some crazy humanitarian thing and then come back. Like
you know who deserves something? Alex Smith.
I was literally about to say this. Yes,
that guy.
The dude almost died and then came back. If he would have won a Super Bowl with the Redskins at the time,
and he got benched for no good reason.
I mean,
what?
They knew something. I mean, he got benched for Patrick Mahomes. They knew.
No, but he got benched for Colin Kaepernick too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But he was playing really well there. And but he got benched by a guy that was more exciting and more physically talented than Colin Kaepernick, and then he got benched by a guy that was all time. It wasn't his fault that Patrick Mahomes was better. It was nothing that Alex Smith did to get benched in either of those situations. It's not like you're playing bad. It's like, dude, the guy behind you, dude, that playoff game with Colin Kaepernick running wild over the Green Bay Packers, you're like, oh, that's a pretty good move.
Yeah.
Like they went to the Super Bowl. You can't fault the Niners or Alex Smith for him getting replaced. And then the same thing happened in Kansas City where you happen to be the guy in front of like what is turning into like the greatest quarterback we've ever seen in front of our eyes. And the first year he replaced him, was that the year he threw 50 touchdown passes and sets a record?
Yeah.
Like
something like that.
So you can't really blame Alex Smith for
if there's
he
one
had six.
dude.
He had 6 coaches in his first 6 years in San Francisco. Yes, I think you're right. There's
Alex
one guy.
Smith.
Alex Smith is the only guy that deserves anything. And guess what he got? Bupkis.
Even Drew Brees, I was willing to slurp that Kool-Aid because I was kind of like, you got traded away.
Yeah.
You kind of became the rallieing cry for a city that was on hard times.
But he won. He won with Sean
won
Payton.
one.
He won with Sean Payton and the Bounty Gate defense.
Yeah.
Ugh. He had to sell his soul a little
Well,
bit.
and not only that, I mean, they went to.
Yeah, no, it was great.
They got very, very close many times after that.
Well, but they saved football in New Orleans. That's a good story. I will say that everybody that brought New Orleans back to where they are now, even though they're not, at the top of the league, they're a viable franchise because of everything Drew Brees and Sean Payton were able to accomplish there. So yeah, I'll give you that one. That's a good one too.
It's just I
and Brett Favre. Wait. All right, we need to get to what to watch. We have not talked a ton of college football, so we will do a college football edition of What to Watch. We do it next. Sinner and Saint, 1080 The Fan.
The Portland Winterhawks invite you to our opening weekend of hockey on October 4th and 5th. Cheer on the Hawks October 4th as we raise our banner and arrive early on Saturday, October 5th for a pregame fan fest outside the Coliseum. Get your tickets now at winterhawks.com.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising! After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In Jansen Beach, Clackamas, Beaverton, Salem, and Eugene, Video Only.
At the UPS Store, we understand the importance of a first impression. That's why we're here to help you put your best foot forward and be unstoppable with our printing services. With high-quality paper stock options, banners, business cards, menus, and more, we make sure your small business stands out and your message reaches the masses. After all, we're the one-stop Prints That Pop store. Most locations are independently owned. Product, services, prices, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable. Come into your local store today and get your print on.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
Let's face it. Nowadays, most companies have to rely on dozens of expensive, disconnected platforms to run their business. And even then, things can get a little, well, stressful. But with Odoo's all-in-one management software, packed with a suite of fully integrated business applications, every process is streamlined. Tasks are automated, and success is just a few clicks away. See how Odoo can take your business to the next level at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
In business, success is never by chance. You know that better than anyone. So why settle for a marketing agency that gambles with your money? At Scale Marketing, we've been in your shoes. Our founders successfully owned and operated businesses long before becoming marketers. They understand the business of, well, business. We specialize in performance marketing for mid-sized B2C companies with teams of over 100 people, from traditional and digital marketing to media buying, data science, and creative production. Scale Marketing manages it all. Our tailored strategies drive measurable growth, turning your challenges into opportunities. Imagine your company leading the market, not just participating in it. That's what we do at Scale Marketing. Don't let your business growth plateau or underperform. Scale Marketing will pinpoint exactly what you need to focus on, ensuring your success isn't left to chance. Take your business to the next level with Scale Marketing. Visit scalemarketing.com today. That's scalemarketing.com.
Sweet dreams, sweet dreams, sweet dreams to you.
The Sinner and the Saint Tailgate with Luke Anderson and Will Darkins on 1080 The Fan.
All right, college football. Let's hear it. What are the games? What are you watching, Will? I want to know what's got your most intrigue for today.
Sweet dreams to you. Michigan, Washington.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cal Miami's kind of interesting just because it's your game day game, and Miami's coming off of what many have described one of the more egregious endings in college football this year.
Yeah, that's very. That was a wild finish.
Yeah, and then Cal, they're coming with a little momentum. They're not as bad as we thought they would be. So that's interesting. The atmosphere at Berkeley, though, might be a little more raucous. You're getting a top
Woke
10
against
team.
the Coke.
Woke against the what?
Woke versus Coke.
What is that?
What? That's the Cal Miami.
Woke versus Coke?
Yeah, they like cocaine in Miami.
Oh, I thought you meant like the drink.
Nope.
Oh,
I think
and
that's
they're woke at Cal.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
That check out?
Sure does.
Yeah. Can I tell you something that's kind of intriguing to me? We talked about it earlier, very, very briefly, but I was looking up the history of the Iowa Hawkeyes versus the Ohio State Buckeyes. Do you know? Okay, so this whole transition to the Big Ten, do you know how many times Iowa has played Ohio State in the last 10 years?
No.
3. They played in 2013, 17, 22. So 13 is outside of 10 years. And this is the third time that they've played. In 2017, Iowa beat Ohio State 55-24. That was a year where Ohio State finished with 2 losses, won the Big Ten, and beat Wisconsin or beat USC in the Cotton Bowl to finish number 5 in the country. So that was a good Ohio State team. So I was looking to see just how Iowa does, but like the whole idea.
What year is that one?
2017.
Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
That was the Sam Darnold year at SC. I only know that because they played them in the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah. So, but Iowa has the horses to go in and play a good game, and Ohio State hasn't been tested. I mentioned that earlier. So I'm very curious to see what happens in this game. Iowa's only loss was in the Cyhawk to Iowa State by a single point. So I'm just curious what we'll get out of that game. It's probably going to be an Ohio State landslide, but at 12:30, I'm gonna sit up on the front edge of the couch and watch that one and see how that goes and see how it starts off. But watch a little preview for next weekend. See what the Buckeyes are bringing to Eugene. That's where I'm at.
So what you do? You watch
what else?
preview tape?
What else? Well, no, but I think you watch with some intrigue. But I think the idea, like, there's a 10% chance Iowa can win this game, according to ESPN. They don't play that much. The whole idea that you go to the Big Ten, you get big matchups every year. Iowa, Ohio State. You'd think that they play more, but they're in opposite divisions, or were, and they never really played each other. So kind of boring. So there you go. Also, might go to the Seahawks game tomorrow. So go up to Seattle. That should be fun. Anything else? You got anything else, my friend?
I'm good, man.
All right. Well, thanks, Will. Thanks, everybody, for listening. And for now, we're done. Bye-bye.
Always. Auto accident? Let Leif's Auto Collision Centers handle your claim from A to Z. We pick up your vehicle, negotiate your claim, fix it to pre-loss condition, handle the billing, and drop it off. No wonder a recent survey of Oregonians voted Leif's the #1 choice for repairs. With pickup and delivery, pre-loss repairs, factory parts, loaners, and manufacturer's recommendations, Leif's has been the consumer's choice for over 33 years. The law gives you the right to choose who repairs your vehicle. Choose Leif's, the finest in collision repair.
This is the day of the big sale at your gift shop.
Welcome in.
So this isn't just a big day for your business. It's a big day for the network keeping it all connected. That is, if it can handle the pressure.
Next in line, please.
So is it possible to get business internet you can really count on? It is. With 99.9% network reliability from Comcast Business. It's like this neat little bow.
Do you like that gift wrap?
Really ties it all together. Reliable internet for your business. It's not just possible. It's happening. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Switch to Comcast Business and get started with reliable internet and advanced security for $49.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get up to a $500 prepaid card with a qualifying internet package. Don't wait. Call or go online to switch today. Offer ends 10/13/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 150 megabit per second internet. Eco bill and auto pay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
I'm Leif Hansen, owner of Leif's Auto Collision Centers. We've been helping with a documentary covering the auto insurance claims industry. If you've been in an accident, haven't filed a claim yet, and are insured with State Farm, Allstate, or Farmers, give me a call. The documentary crew is following individuals to record all the interactions you have with the insurance carrier from beginning to the end of your claim. All participants are compensated for their time. Contact me direct at Leif's Auto Collision Centers or on leifs.com.
Pizza just goes better with Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Pizza.
Thank you. But don't take our word for it. In fact, don't take any words for it. Crispy and cheesy, paired with delicious and refreshing. My mouth is watering already. Ooh, too high. Yeah, we've all been there. Every bite is better with Pepsi.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks of
dust will never come out.
Pour down in the rinse change.
Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
The home of Danny and Dusty, always live on the Odyssey app, is KFXX KWJJ HD2 Portland 1080 The Fan.
The algorithm we're using is not perfect.
An Odyssey sports station.
6-week IL stint, and I'm going to try and do this in a week and play. So, but I feel I'm not going to be hindering. I don't think there's just going to be certain plays where like the slowing down stuff. So I would say this is. I mean, I did play with a broken finger, but I would say this is. I've never sprained an ankle before, so that was the hardest thing I didn't know. And they say your first sprained ankle is the worst. They said this is 4 to 6 weeks, but I'm going to do it in a week.
Freddie Freeman and the Dodgers versus the Padres tonight on ESPN Radio just after 8:30. To the NFL, Cowboys placing receiver Brandon Cooks on IR with a knee issue. He will miss at least the next 4 games. To the college football scoreboard on ABC right now, it's a blowout. 25th ranked Texas A&M 31, number 9 Missouri nothing at College Station early in the third. Start of the third quarter on ESPN, SMU has a 24-13 lead at number 22 Louisville. NC State quarterback Grayson McCall carted off the field in the first quarter after taking a hit to the head in that game against Wake Forest.
We will be busy on Monday looking back on the Cowboys and the Steelers among the really good Sunday games. The Jets and the Vikings are in London, and looking ahead to another big one on Monday Night Football, too. It's Greeny, starting 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
I think these guys go out there and they play well together. They play for each other. I'm extremely excited to be a part of it.
Proud of the way our team fought, proud of the resiliency we showed to just keep going. We were gritty tonight and so pleased to come away with a win.
92-9 the game in Atlanta. The walk-off touchdown for the Atlanta Falcons in overtime, 36-30 last night over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We are Unsportsmanlike here on ESPN Radio, presented by Progressive Insurance. If you missed any of Unsportsmanlike, you can catch up on all 4 hours of the show on Sportsmanlike Podcasts, available daily, wherever you get your podcasts. And make sure to rate, review, and subscribe. If you missed any of our show today, what did you miss? Let's go through a couple of things. You missed Nuno and Cece yelling at each other. You missed Ryan Clark and Bart Scott do what they do, which was analyze football. And surprisingly, not a great feel for Wu-Tang. Almost spinning Wu-Tang negatively, which I was bothered by that.
Yeah, it hurt me a little bit. It hurt me.